Oh, wait, we're live. Peace. We're here in nature, breathing in that good ass air. I was talking to the dog down the street, and he was telling me that I should give you some advice on how to be extremely lucky. Okay, I'm kidding. Het-Heru, namaste, assalamu alaikum. This is Gasank Maya Keperu with another video for you. And in this video, I definitely want to tell you how to have extreme luck. But before I do that, hit the like button on this video. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Hit the subscribe button to get notifications when I go live and when I upload new videos. And also sign up for some of our ebooks. And with that, I want to say or make the announcement that I just released my second edition of the new Kepra Ankh ebook, The Key to Manifesting Your Reality. And that ebook took a lot out of me. It contains so much magical knowledge about the Illuminati, what they have done, and how you can take back your power to bring about the world that you want. So you've got to get that ebook, all right? It's about 50 pages long, 50 pages packed with good stuff. So let's talk about this. It's a beautiful day today. A little bit of clouds, but still, it's a good day. And I have my, my magic wand here that I use. We're going to talk about having extreme luck. Now, as you know, I am not big on using herbs, potions, spells in my in doing elaborate rituals like the Golden Dawn would perform. I'm more reliant on the power within, because I think that we don't need a lot of those external things. Because if you follow Bashar, you hear Bashar say this, and it's so true, because Sebek told me that those things are just permission slips. You're placing your belief in external objects when really the power is within you. But you allow those objects, such as a magic wand, to perform magic. But the magic is not in the thing itself, it's in you. But because your belief is not strong enough in yourself, you may need to have a permission slip, something that gives you permission to believe in it and believe that the magic will work. So this is why I don't push too much on the powders, the herbs, the oils, and all that other stuff, because you, in the end, you don't really need it. And really, when you get into a tight situation, you may not have a success powder, a wealth powder to draw you what you need. But I do have my success water, so you should order that. You can order from watersofnoon.com, the link below. But the power, as I said, resonates within us and outward. And it really comes from our psyche. Now, if you believe wholeheartedly in something, the universe has no choice but to manifest it, because a belief transfers your consciousness, your way of thinking, to a different frequency to manifest that thing, because reality is malleable. It can be bent. It can change according to the belief system. Now, I want you to start with this technique I'm going to give you, and I want you to work with this for a couple of weeks and see the results it can bring you. Oh, and by the way, people wonder why I'm wearing these headphones. We're working on meditation, or I should say, I don't want to use the word meditation. We're doing hypnosis and meditation trance work. And one of the things I do is I listen to binaural beats. So these headphones are pretty expensive, and what they do is they allow you to hear every sound. You'll be able to pick up on every note, everything very clearly, and they're noise reduction. So when I put them on, I don't hear anything in the external world, but I will hear the music track. And I listen to subliminal tracks every day, so it can change my belief system. So this is why I was wearing this. But what I want to tell you now is a technique to make you extremely lucky. Now, the first thing that you have to understand is at the core of your being is that you are God, man, God, woman. Therefore, you have the power to change reality. And reality does not exist in essence. There's no such thing as reality. We're creating a holographic experience so we can interact with it. But I have on my Patreon campaign, and if you're not signed up for it, you should, because There you'll get instructions and exclusive videos on esoteric knowledge and training. I have on there how to manifest money. And one of the things I show individuals is how to manifest $50, how to manifest $100 at will. Very simple technique. Now, what decides your luck in life or your success in life comes from your perspective. Two things. Number one, how you view yourself, how you see yourself, which is only you know how you see yourself. And then your perspective on life, your belief on life. If you walk through life believing that you are lucky and you are handsome, you are attractive, then it will be so if you believe it to the core of your being. This is why we practice trance, because the ancient Buddhist monks, they will recite something over and over again. For example, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy. The reason you're reciting that over and over again, because you want to put the left brain to sleep. The left brain is a critical factor. The left brain tells you you can't do it. It won't work. What are you trying to do? Are you stupid? That's the left brain. But when you focus on an affirmation or a mantra, I am wealthy, and you say it over and over again, it puts that left brain to sleep, and then it awakens the right brain. The right brain is the gateway to the subconscious realm or to the ether. Now, with that right brain activated, you can then work on bending reality. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, let's say, for example, we wanted to manifest $50, right? What we can say to ourselves is, I will find $50 on the floor. I am going to find $50 on the floor. I will find $50 on the floor. This is your mantra that you will recite over and over in your head. Now, when you go out into the world, during your daily routine, don't go out specifically to do this, but during your daily routine, look on the ground. You're going to see all kinds of litter, trash, and other things. When you see these things, these papers, do not recognize them for what they are. They may be crumpled up newspaper, candy bar wrappers. In your mind, in your mind's eye, the vision that you're holding, I want you to see that thing as a $50 bill. Do not accept it for what it is, meaning it's a candy bar. Maybe it's a Snickers candy bar wrapper, whatever. Do not acknowledge that. Say in your mind, that is a $50 bill. Now, there's going to be an incongruence. There's going to be a conflict now. Like the great I-Ching oracle says, the 6 hexagram conflict. That conflict is going to come from what you're seeing and what the subconscious is now ready to accept and manifest. And now we're on to something. Now, you are to continue this for several weeks. You're going out there in your daily routine, looking down. You may see a leaf, but to you, that's not a leaf. That's a $50 bill. Now, I don't want you to go pick it up. You won't pick it up until it actually changes into a $50 bill, and you will see it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because there is going to come to a point of when you're reciting this in your head enough to where it gets implanted into the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind starts to slowly but surely manifest it. See, we're living in linear space-time. So what you want takes time to manifest, but rest assured, the minute you think of it, it exists on a different plane. You're just taking it from that different plane into this realm of 4D. Do you understand? But in order to do that, it's subject to space-time, linear space-time, meaning there is going to be a delay in its manifestation. Now, how quickly can it manifest? Depends on how strong your belief system is. If your belief system is strong within yourself, and you have a positive image of yourself, and that your outlook is positive, that you will, in fact, and this is the secret, you will, in fact, find $50. It will happen, because one of the greatest tools that you have is expectancy. Expect it. As you know it's going to happen. You may not know the time and the place, but you know it will happen. With that expectancy, it's only a matter of time before it manifests. And then what you'll find out from there is the principle of momentum. What is the principle of momentum? The principle of momentum says that the left brain is a critical aspect. It needs a paradigm or a precedent to operate from, meaning it needs a reference point. It needs to say, have we done this before? Is this possible? If so, we can do it. Now that you have found that $50, you now have momentum to now manifest more. You can start saying, well, I'll manifest $100. I'm going to look for $100 and I will find it because I expect to find it. And because you found the $50 and you have that reference point and you're in momentum and you're in what we call a state, it's going to manifest. That's how it works. But you first have to work on putting the left brain critical faculty to sleep so the right brain can take over and manifest it for you. And you must have a positive image of yourself. You can't be doubtful. You can't have a low self-esteem because that's going to thwart any effort of manifesting it. Now, the other way you want to do this is to kind of generalize it for other things in your life. When you go to work, you can say to yourself, the people at work love me. The people at work love me. And watch how that will manifest in their appreciation. Your boss will give you a raise. Things will start to align and happen for you. Do you understand what I mean? So you can transfer this technique over to anything. Anything. Long as you have that strong belief, the expectancy that it will happen, and a positive image of yourself, and that positive outlook, that things go your way, things will happen. And when that first incident happens and that person comes up to you and says, the boss would like to talk to you, they're interested in giving you a promotion. Now you can start going with it. Now you got the momentum. Why not go to be president of the company at that point? You see what I'm saying? Now we can use herbs. We can do an elaborate ritual to change reality. But I'm saying there are tough situations of life when you're caught off guard and you don't have those things with you. So you're going to have to rely on your own power within. There are people out there who tend to come into money, who tend to just have positive relationships. Everything works their way. It's because of their belief system. And then sometimes it's because they're born into a legacy of money and success. They're born into very educated parents who have connections, political connections, business connections. But a lot of times it is your outlook. Now, some of us are so damaged that our outlook is almost beyond repair. This is where we have to go for therapy. This is where we have to go for deep hypnosis sessions to purge ourselves over the damage that has been done to our spirit. And this damage comes in many ways. A lot of times, racism can do a lot of damage to a person. Having really messed up parents can damage you. Having a really abusive spouse can damage you. And if that is the case, I would suggest you seek therapy right away. You get into a good hypnotherapy program to purge yourself of that stuff. You don't want to carry that around with you your entire life because it's going to inhibit your magical abilities. So you need to deal with that. Too many people out there are sick and savage. And they don't realize it. They think they're okay. It's not okay to harm one another. It's not okay to be vindictive and cunning and to be selfish. One of the things I talk about is these rappers who are out there talking about, I think, what's his name? Nipsey Russell died and everybody was so upset. And I was like, okay, whatever. People die every day. People are dying in Africa. But he was doing so many good things for the community. Let me explain something to you about the rap pendulum, the rap egregore. It is selfish. It is self-centered and only thinks about itself. It thinks about getting money. It thinks about harming other people. It thinks about getting women. You're dealing with a structure that will not allow you to be altruistic. You're dealing with a structure that will not allow you to go out there and do really great things for the masses of people. I don't care who you elect as president. They're all going to do the same thing. You can elect the Pope. He's going to just start another war. Every president that comes into office starts wars because this country is about colonizing other countries, third world countries, toppling democratically elected governments. So what I'm telling you is, don't think that these people, because they have these good intentions, that they're really, because they say they have these good intentions, that they're really out for your well-being. They're not. They need help. And when you listen to rap music every day, and you're listening to the beat, which is very earthy, very 3D, you're being programmed to be emotional, hyperreactive, selfish, violent. But then you want to say, I want to help the community. No, there's a conflict there. There's a dichotomy there. You have cognitive dissonance. It doesn't work that way. So back to the topic and what I was saying. Doorkeeper, thank you. Het-Heru. Let me just say hi to the Magi's. Jackie C. Namaste. Dozier. Het-Hep. All set. Always good to see you here. Namaste. All set Ma'at. Two great deities. Good name. So, what you can do to help change the world is to change your thinking. Because when you say, I am always successful, I am always lucky, and then you look with expectancy to happen, then it changes the 3D realm around you. And you start interacting with a better world. You see, if that is your outlook on life, that you're successful and you have this positive outlook, there's no way you could be producing negative music or negative lyrics. But some of these rappers, they talk about how great Biggie and Tupac were, but some of their music was terrible. It was not life affirming. Now, I'm not saying all rap is bad, but I'm just saying that you got to deal with what's out there, that these industries have now been taken over by spirits that will not allow you to be righteous and do the right things. This is why you've got to pursue spiritual culture. When you look at the system and the structure that we have today, it's designed for you to fail. It's not designed for you to be successful. I don't care how much they preach about capitalism and you can pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You can be anybody or be anything you want. That's a bunch of bullshit. The only thing that levels the playing field is magic, is your power as God man, God woman. That is the only thing that's going to leverage the playing field, because you're not going to get as much money as Donald Trump, as Bill Gates. They were selected to be the persons that they are and to rule, and you weren't. But there's other avenues of opportunity that you can access, which is through magic, to bring you success, to bring you luck, so that in life you won't get your ass kicked. Does that make sense? So you're going to say to yourself over and over again, I am lucky, I am prosperous. And those things will start to manifest in your life. But be a little specific and see certain scenarios happening. Whether it be you're finding the money, which is one of the great techniques that you can use, that I personally use, and it works like a wonder. It is wonderful. You'll see it manifest before your eyes. And the first thing is you're going to doubt it. You're not going to believe it. And then you're going to think it's a coincidence. Well, I just happened to find $50. And so it doesn't mean that this technique really worked. Kasonk, it's just a coincidence, Kasonk. Yeah. Okay. Well, you got that momentum. Try it again with $100 and see what happens. Try to say to yourself, I'll get the mate of my dreams. I can do this. Now, there is one thing that you have to be very careful of, and Vadim Zeland in his book, Reality Transurfing, talks about this, and this is called excess importance. Don't place too much importance on the thing that you desire, because if you do that, you're placing too much importance on it, and then you will do a mind jujitsu on yourself and then put it without your reach because you think you cannot attain it, because you think you're not worthy of it, because you're now having self-doubt and low self-esteem. In other words, if I say I want a beautiful mate and I start to think that, oh, well, I could never have a girl that beautiful, she would never be interested in me, that's low self-esteem and doubt. So now, and then I'm putting too much importance on the woman, putting her on a pedestal. So of course now I won't ever get a woman like that. Make it seem like finding money, getting luck, being successful is no big thing. It's common to you. It should be common to you because you're a God. So why not? Don't make a big deal out of this. Hey, I find money all the time, not a big deal. Hey man, I go out with my friends and magical things happen all the time. They freak out. I'm like, that's not a big deal. It happens to me all the time. Magic stuff happens. I just go with the flow. But if you make a big deal out of it, then the next time you want to manifest something, it won't happen. Wow, Kasong was right. I found $50. Whoa, man, he's a genius, man. Whoa, I gotta do this again. Now you got see that's excess importance. You're making it too big of a thing. Make it seem like it's common in your life. I find money all the time. I have success all the time. All right, my beloved. So that's the technique that you need to practice and work on. And don't forget to get my book, the second edition of the new Capital Ankh. I've already sent it to those of you who had the first edition, but the second edition kicks ass. Sorry for my language. This is Kasank Ma'a, Het-Heru, son of Ma'antudi. My aunt is the beautiful goddess Het-Heru. Hey, you know what? I didn't see that cat down the street. I got to go check him out. Until my next broadcast, Amun Ra.